I have a confession. We're tearing out the corners. Okay, hear me out though. This is why. When I built this arch, I absolutely, I love that arch. I think it is chef's kiss. But I think because this is deeper, it is really throwing me off with the curve, even though this curve matches my archway curve. And I just can't get past it feeling retro. I feel like if I just curve it a little less, that it will feel less like 60s, 70s and more, I don't know, the time frame that I want it to feel. I know a lot of people are really nervous that I'm just gonna take the curve out completely, and that's not the case. I really do like the curve. I think it's a nice touch. I love mixing, you know, my more like vintage feeling home with modern touches, and this definitely is a little bit more of a modern touch compared to the rest of my home. And I know that it, like, if you're just looking at this from everything I've been sharing, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, it seems fine, but I just know in my heart, if I do not change this, every time I look at this dry bar, I'm gonna think I should have fixed the curves when I knew I wasn't happy with them. So today we're changing them. Where do I even start? This wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't already drywalled this. Can she do it? Oh shoot, maybe not. The fact that I thought that I would be done with drywall, you know? Drywall money? Of course not. Please just be easy. Hello friends, welcome to my bubble. Let me update you on what's been going on for a few days now. I say welcome to my bubble because I had to end up plastic wrapping this space in my house just so the dust wasn't getting everywhere when I sand. And I also haven't been filming it because I don't want dust to get all into this camera lens. I'll show you a little clip that I took with my phone, but we are on day 2. This is the 3rd time I'll be sanding. Second time I'll be mudding, like a lot of mudding. The first time I just did like kind of around the edges to get everything sealed down. Then I sanded, then yesterday I did bigger patches, and then I'll sand today, then I'll mud again, and hopefully sand one more time tomorrow. Maybe mud some smaller parts that, you know, where it's like not totally smooth. And then we can move on to some fun stuff. I'm so ready to move on to like building cabinets and stuff. But this part of the project is where your project is gonna look, either I DIY'd this or more professional, because you want your drywall mud to be as smooth as possible before you begin painting, because otherwise it's just gonna cause you a bunch of problems and not look good. And so we must be patient. I'll get back in touch with you in a couple of days after all the mudding and sanding are done, and we can move on to cabinet building and painting and fun stuff. You guys, I'm coming at you from the end of the day you're getting ready to watch. And that is because my mic was not working this entire time. I'm not really sure what's happened to it. So unfortunately, this entire day is going to be me doing voiceover, which is really sad because I talked to you guys a lot about what I was thinking, my thought process, and I'm gonna try to reiterate that as much as I can. But sometimes this happens and we just gotta take the punches and roll with them. You guys, today we are building the cabinets, or starting to build the cabinets, and I am so excited. I cannot tell you how long I've waited for this. I want this to be the very first step of the project, and as you guys know, I got a little ahead of myself and realized I needed to do all of this. So we're gonna start building the cabinets, but first I wanna go through a little double, triple, quadruple check that all of my measurements are correct, and then I'm leaving just a little bit of leeway in case, you know, things aren't plumb. And living in an old house, usually that is the case. I think I've told you guys this already, but the depth from here, this left side to the wall, compared to the depth of the right side to the wall is not the exact same. So that's going to be potentially a little bit of an issue. I think more of an issue when we do countertops, but I've also never gotten a custom countertop, so hopefully they can just cut it for me oddly, the way it is. Okay, so on this right side, I drew a little, so this is 36 inches. I'm going to make my cabinet lower, 36 inches tall. I know they're usually like 34 and a half or something, and then once the countertop is on, it's usually 36 inches. But my kitchen counters I measured are 36 inches without the countertop on them. So I was like, I'm just going to make them the same. I'm just going to make them a little taller. It's not going to harm anyone. So 36 inches, 36 inches. At that 36 top inch mark on this side, it is 16 3/4 of an inch from the front to the wall. Now, I know that the floor slopes down like this because on this side, let me just give you an example. On this side, like right where this curve ends, we're at 67 3/4. On the left side, right where this curve ends, we're at 77 and almost 3/4. So we've got about a 1 inch drop from the right side to the left side. Old house problems. I got some plywood cut down for the depth of the cabinets at 16 inches. So that means I would have 3/4 of an inch like to work with here to the front if I push the back cabinet all the way to the back. And then over here, I would have a whole inch. But the problem is I'm going to build the cabinets and put a face frame on it. My face frame is going to be 3/4 of an inch thick. I was talking to my dad a couple of days ago about countertops, and he was like, well, you know, countertops usually have, you know, about an inch overhang, if not more or less, depending on how it's fabricated. And then I looked at my countertops and I was like, oh, that's right. And what I really want is for the countertop to be flush to this wall, to like these two walls. So I need to account for that in my measurement. And if my plywood is 16 inches currently, then I add 3/4 of an inch for the face frame. That puts me right at the edge over here, and therefore I feel like I need to take an inch off of that entire measurement to account for the potential overhang. So I think I need to trim down my plywood pieces to 15 3/4, just so we have a little bit of wiggle room. Let's go cut some cabinets. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward through this day because I started by notching out the toe kick out of the sides of the boxes that I cut. The toe kick is that little cutout at the bottom of cabinets that keeps your toes safe and allows you to be closer to the cabinet that you're working on without your toes hitting the bottom of the cabinets. And I originally chose this method because I didn't want to have to buy extra materials to build a base to sit my cabinets on top of. However, in the end, the floors were just too slanted for this method to work out, which we will chat about tomorrow. Okay, listen, I have changed my mind on the assembly of these cabinets. It's just too much to deal with the floor being that unlevel. And I've decided that my method of cutting the toe kicks out from the boxes was not the way to go. I admit I was wrong. So I am going to go the other method. I'm on my way to Home Depot right now to get 2x4s. I'm gonna build a 2x4 base. I'm gonna level that 2x4 base, and then I'm gonna build my boxes all the same heights and stack it on top of the base, and they'll be level that way. I know that you guys are probably gonna be like, well, duh, but I really did believe at the beginning, like, to save on materials, like from having to buy the 2x4s, that cutting the toe kicks out of the bottom was gonna be the way to go, but then I just encountered the unlevel issue, and yeah, I learned. Honestly, I've just learned. So, yeah, the thing that stinks the most is that I specifically didn't do the 2x4 base, well, for many reasons, but for one of the main reasons was because I wanted to save money and not buy more material. And now there's a good possibility that I'll be wasting some of the plywood material because it won't be enough. Okay, I decided I need to add a back to them to make sure, to help them be completely square. And that would give me a final, or a better measurement for our middle piece. So our face frame is gonna be 1.5 inches. So I have measured to the inside of this box 1.5 inches off the wall. 1.5 inches, 21 and 1 5/8. Okay, so my wall must be not plumb, which is not shocking. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna keep the 21.5 measurement since it's kind of in between both. Put it in the middle. When I screw them together, there might be a little bit of caulking or something that needs to go on the edge. Like once the face frame is on, it may not go edge to edge perfectly, which I think is okay. I would rather it have just a little bit of give and I can cover it up with caulk over it be too big and I have to trim it down later on, I think.
What do you think?
Can I have this piece?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Complain, complain, complain. I mean, these seems to fit pretty good. I'll screw them together and I'll shim them again if I need to. My base is pretty level though, so hopefully not.
And then we can do everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you too, Buggies.
All right, let's go make a cabinet. That's fun.